Hello and Namaste everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video is about the Xbox One X and Series S comparisons that came up recently. The recent discussion has made casual gamers a little confused about the Series S, and I am here to clear some things up, some things that are being missed. Also, just a disclaimer, the comparison videos that I'll be using in this video is not captured by me. The Xbox Series S is a console that I use on a daily basis. I've also used the Xbox One X in the past. I don't have it anymore, but I have put in a lot of time on it. So let's talk about the two consoles. So first, the Xbox One X. The Xbox One X was released in 2017. It's been 5 years since the console entered the market. The One X was a powerful console of its time, the most powerful Xbox of the generation. It has a very powerful GPU when compared to the Xbox One VCR and the One S. But there's a caveat. It has a CPU bottleneck, which means the CPU is not powerful enough to target a higher stable frame rate. It targets a 4K resolution at 30 FPS in most games, if not all of them. Even the recent Halo Infinite hit somewhere between 45 to 50 FPS on performance mode with a dynamic 1440p, not 4K, with a great deal of resolution scaling with dips to as low as 720p. Of course, that's the lowest dip, and the game runs at a higher resolution most of the time. It doesn't have a consistent 60 FPS though. There are parts where it does come close. The One X has a graphical advantage when it comes to some games, and it also has an optical disk drive. But more and more developers are skipping the One X for 4K enhancements and optimizations. The Xbox Series S is a little beast that beats the One X in multiple key areas. It offers a much better CPU, which in turn grants higher frame rates. It has a high speed NVMe SSD, which boosts the loading speed. They also improved the controller latency on the series console. It has a very tiny structure, which, believe me, you can travel with for trips on holidays. The Series S is not a 4K machine. The maximum it can do is 1440p and 120 FPS. But 1080p 60 FPS is the sweet spot. Most games will offer a quality mode with 1440p at 30 FPS and a performance mode with 1080p at 60 FPS. The One X does provide a better resolution and somewhat sharper image in some games, but the Series S still uses better texture assets for those games. The same texture assets that the Series X console uses, but at a lower resolution. Halo Infinite does show a better resolution image on the One X compared to the Series S, but even there, the texture quality is still better on the Series S, and it targets a more consistent 60 FPS on the performance mode with no signs of resolution scaling. Let's take another example. Forza Horizon on the One X targets a resolution of 1600p to 2160p, which is 4K, at 30 FPS. And the Series S quality mode hits a 1440p 30 FPS. You can compare the two side by side and see that the Series S still produces a much better texture quality and overall experience, even though it's at a lower resolution. The foliage on the One X in the game is significantly reduced, and the image looks less detailed compared to the Series S. The One X also doesn't have a performance mode like the Series console has. The Series S targets a 1080p 60 FPS mode in the performance mode. Both the Series console will have a quality mode and a performance mode in most future games. And that is what this generation is about. It's about giving players an option to select between resolution or frame rate. I truly appreciate it. I would rather compromise the resolution to get a higher frame rate than play at a higher resolution locked at 30 FPS. The One X does have a 6 teraflop GPU compared to the 4 teraflops on the Series S. It should also be considered that the GPU on the One X is also of an older architecture. That means the support for games on the Xbox One X is about to be over. The Series S, on the other side, will be supported till the end of the generation. As more and more new games come out, the Series S will be more valuable than the One X when you consider the amount of money you're going to spend on the consoles. The Series S is also not a successor to the One X, it is a successor to the One S. Now, the important questions. Does the One X hit a better resolution in some games? Absolutely. I'd be an idiot to say no when it clearly is looking better in some games. But is it better than the Series S in all other aspects? No. The Series S performs much better in all other aspects: speed, frame rates, controller latency, and the most of all, upcoming games. See, if you already own an Xbox One X, you should hold off and wait till the Series X is easily available in the market, or till the older generation gets dropped. But if you're thinking about buying the One X right now, it's simply not a good long term investment. With that note, the video ends here. I hope this helped you out in making an informed, decent decision. I tried to make this video as simple to understand as possible. Still, if you have any questions or concerns, drop it down in the comments down below and I'll answer as many questions as possible. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for more such content. Until then, happy gaming, guys.